Good afternoon, everybody, and how are you keeping? On this very sunny day in Dumfries, just for a change. What am I doing? Oh no, I'll bring the earworms in first. Always forget to do that. And here they are, the guys for today. We've got Mark, the gentleman woodturner. We have got Dale from Maple Tree Studios, and we have got Scott, the blue light turner.
Good afternoon.
So, them guys are going to keep you amused and keep the chat up to date. While I'll put them back in the background again, while I do some turning.
Hide the ugly people.
What we're going to be doing, I've got a piece of ash on the lathe at the moment, which is quite rippled. So it's probably going to annoy some people because I'm going to colour it. I haven't used any Joe Sonia iridescent paints for quite a while, so I thought I'd rectify that and use some today. And I'm going to be using a new paint applicator, which I bought from the supermarket the other day, and there it is. That's what I'll be putting the paint on with.
Cool.
Does Jane know it's missing?
Considering I bought it just to go in the workshop, she's not really concerned.
I must confess, I would never doubt your honesty, young man, but I'd cock the head to one side and go, a likely story.
Did you buy it from the town shop, Wayne?
No, I bought it from Tesco's when I was out shopping.
Oh, I've got a better idea. Do you have a bath in the workshop? I mean, is that what we've got going on?
No, in fact, Jane actually said, "Are you going out to have a shower?" I said, if I turn the hose on, there's going to be a fucking cold shower.
Well, hey. Shall we walk through who's in the chat? And we have a chorus of hellos when we do it. We have got Wood Wizardry by Colin. Hello! Jay from Wooden Things. Bravo! Mark the Gentleman Woodturner hiding out in the chat. Sid Repurposing. We have Doug Miller. John S. Doug Miller again. Steve Ash. We have Tom Canada from saying hello from Georgia, USA.
Good afternoon.
We have Dr. Bob, Robert Dolman, Terry Bray, Colin Ezard. We have Mike the Midnight Joker, and sometimes Daytime Joker. We have John S, Andy Heath. We have Ian Leonard, John PB8. We have, I think I said Terry Bray, but if I didn't, hello Terry. We have Karen Dolman, Dara Cohen, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Getting to the bottom of the list now, I hope.
Brian J.
Hodgepodge Woodwork. We have a lovely the Dutch Turner. We have Herb. Hello, Herb. I found the fluffy handcuffs, Herb. I think you'll be pleased to know. And Barry's Wood Creations. Hello to everyone.
Fluffy handcuffs. Is there something we need to know about you, Dale?
Mate,
I've got to say well done to Hodgepodge for getting a good shout out on Rod Humphrey's video. Lovely pieces, mate.
My Drilly fan club mug should be here tomorrow.
Cool.
Had notification.
Well, my Drilly t-shirt has been posted.
Now, can I dismantle this broken light? Can I think of a jig? Camera.
Dr. Bob Stanley is getting ready for the 4th day of the Worldwide Woodturning Online Symposium.
Cool.
And the AWGB Talking Turning meeting this afternoon. Cool.
Cool.
there's a question in the chat for you, Doug Miller. Is the reed drive on your lathe working well?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
I think that was a threat. I think that was like a gangster-style threat. There's the case of, hello, Mark. Is your reach drive working all right? You know, I wouldn't want anything to happen to it, would we?
Is my sound quality better now?
I must confess, not tremendously. It wasn't bad to begin with, so
No.
Yeah,
what was the problem?
I was running off the webcam, not my headphones.
Ah, sounded all right.
Right, it's fairly simple ball design like I usually do.
I'm going to have to shoot off at about 1:30 because I'm going over to Exeter with my brother. So
We don't need the details. I mean,
I'm
you
just
know.
going on a road trip.
Cool. Good.
No, don't need the details, Mark. Just a phone number. That'll do fine.
Haha.
And a measurement.
I wish.
This is going to work. So, out in the chat, we have a few other questions. So there was one went by there we missed, I think. I think Karen asked a question. Did we get it?
I missed that one.
How was Wayne
Karen,
holding the wood on the lathe?
Question. That's it.
What was that, sorry?
How does Wayne hold the wood on the lathe?
Right, I will show you. Well, what I've got, Karen, I've got a mortise like this in the top of the bowl, and it's just been held in the chuck.
Nearly 2 meters of plane. Axman's isn't too far from Exeter, Mark.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't persuade my brother to go the extra few miles. He's on a time constraint, so I might go to Axminster on Monday myself.
Right, I'm just going to put one final cut on this. I'll put one along the bottom. A very slight cut. And now, just to get the bottom of the bowl finished.
Yes, John PPH, he's on short-term release.
Shh, don't tell everyone I've escaped, Mark.
He was 35 years a police officer, so they don't let him out in public that often now.
Who was?
My brother.
Right.
Devon and Cornwall?
Yeah.
Drilly's coming out.
Hey, here comes Drilly.
Hands that use drilly, wind up as white as your face. With mad Wayne's power toolsy.
That's a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It was entirely off the cuff.
Very good.
Should have been sung right there.
You know, Viola needs a theme tune. Every good hero should have one.
Yeah, no, it's like the Here Comes Johnny, innit? Here comes Drilly.
Oh, aye. You're too good at that. Note to self: always be the other side. Always be in the same side of the door as you.
There we go. If you haven't ordered one already, there's the link to Drilly's fan club t-shirt.
Dale trouser cuff by the sound of it. Oh, steady on, sir. Needs fine tuning, Dale, says the Dutch Turner. I agree. Fine tuning with a hammer, I think, is where it needs to go. At Dennis Beamish, as long as you apply Yorkshire grit right, you can go straight to finish, says Steve Ash.
Hey?
Hey? Steve Ash says to Dennis Beamish, as long as you apply Yorkshire grit right, you can go straight to the finish.
What did Dennis have?
All right, we're going to have a go at this. Artillery del Ligo is in. We had a house on today.
Dennis said, just ordered my first tub of Yorkshire Grit white finishing polish, so that'll be the microfine. Do I do anything to the Yorkshire Grit finish before applying a finishing polish?
It's not a finishing polish.
No, he's saying once he's applied the Yorkshire Grit, does he have to do
Yeah,
anything?
Yeah, he's calling it a finishing polish.
Oh yeah,
It's not a finishing polish. The Yorkshire Grit, the white Yorkshire Grit microfine, is still an abrasive paste, developed especially for use on resins, although it can be used on wood. You still apply a finish over the top of the microfine because it's an abrasive paste, just finer. Ordinary microfine like this. I'm going to stop the glare. That takes it up to about 1,000 grit finish. Using microfine will take it up just over 2,000 grit. But it's still an abrasive paste.
You lying grit.
So, would you history by Colin? Hi all, sorry I'm late. I had to take she who must be obeyed to the hospital. Hope she's alright, Colin.
John Smith's just joined, first time here.
Hi John, welcome.
It's from the west coast of Wales. He's very complimentary. He says, first time in the chat, watched all your live streams, keep it up. Best lives on YouTube.
Oh, thank you very much, John.
He won't pay you though, John. He don't pay us.
Doesn't pay up.
Give me your name of your optician and I'll get him to get you some new glasses.
Man needs a gentle discussion. Hello, young man. You're clearly barking mad. Right, I've got a spare bit. Where did I put these?
So we got a question from Brian Jane. Question, Wayne.
Brian.
Have you ever done a string pull on a bowl? How long did it take to get it right?
My first string pull.
Million years.
I watched a hell of a lot of YouTube videos before I did my first string pull, and it went straight to plan. It went to plan straight away, I should say. Although the first one I did as a wall hanging, and I actually used the method that I saw on YouTube, where they have a wet base coat and they do the string pull over the wet acrylic paint. And I thought that's going to take too long to do for turning bowls and vases and things like this, which is where I came up with the idea of using spray paint because that dries quicker and it works just as well. So I've done bowls, I've done vases, using string pull. It's another one of the techniques that I really enjoy.
So Ellie says, sorry she's not chatting much. She's in the middle of making sausage rolls.
Oh, nice, Ali.
Ellie, don't take this the wrong way, but I've got a mixed sense of feelings towards you right now. A sense of admiration, jealousy,
Yeah,
desire to steal them. It's all very confused.
I think that's going to be the same for everybody.
Dennis says, okay, so microfine, then Hampshire Sheen high gloss.
Yep.
Yes, microfine and Hampshire Sheen high gloss will work perfectly fine.
Cool.
I'm using chestnut microcrystalline wax. It is one of the favourite waxes that I use, mainly because the microcrystalline wax, and this is for any microcrystalline wax, not just chestnut, but with microcrystalline waxes, it tends to be more hard wearing as a paste wax, and it doesn't tend to show up fingerprints as much. So for anything that's going to be handled a lot, rather than ordinary paste wax, the likes of Wood Wax 22 by Chestnut, you're better off using a microcrystalline. In fact, quite a lot of time, I've used Wood Wax 22 as a base coat for microcrystalline, and that works really well. Now, yeah, that's the bottom finished. So as you can see, yeah, you can see a lot of ripple coming through on this, which does mean that a lot of it's going to get blocked out, seeing as I'm going to paint this.
I'm going to have to jump in here. A couple of things are really important. Rex B says, have you tried Axe Paste? Does it do the same as Hampshire Sheen?
No, Axe Paste is an abrasive paste, and it doesn't do the same as Yorkshire Grit either. Have I used it? Why would I? I use Yorkshire Grit.
Exactly.
Now, the thing about, I don't know who that was from and if they're in the States or not.
I think they are.
But Yorkshire Grit can be quite expensive to buy in the States because of import duties and because of shipping and things like this. So it can be quite expensive to buy.
But thoroughly worth it for the quality.
I've tried both Axe and Yorkshire Grit. I can honestly say the fundamental difference between Axe and Yorkshire Grit is Yorkshire Grit is much more creamy, is a much more enjoyable product to use. It gives a better finish in the end result. Axe is quite thicker, more waxy, and more chemically in its application. It's much more sticky as you're applying it to the wood. It does do the same job as an abrasive paste. It does do what it says in that respect. But once you've used Yorkshire Grit, Axe seems an inferior product. And I'm not sponsored by Wayne or supported by Glenn on that one at all. That's a personal experience.
There's a little bit of tear out on here, which I probably could sand out, but I'll see if I can get rid of it. Yeah, that's done that. Now this has got a very sharp edge, so I'm just going to knock that off, just so I don't cut myself.
Oh, hey, there's a scroll saw. Get a scroll saw. Man needs to cut himself. Only great wood turners cut themselves with a scroll saw.
That's why I haven't got one out of the box yet, though.
Because you're scared. Can't afford the injury. Can't afford to be off work. I see where you're coming from. You should have necked down for a while today. We could have done a bit of scroll saw and a bit of turning.
Yeah, my head's just been.
I totally understand.
I was planning on getting on the scroll saw yesterday, but I was hanging a bit yesterday morning, so I didn't bother.
Wayne, I want you to take this with all the love in the world, but if you get on that scroll saw, you might break it.
JP's in the chat.
Hi, JP.
Hi, JP.
Hello. Don't be silly, wrap your drilly. Oh, I like it, man.
So I'm sanding up to 400, seeing as I'm going to colour the top.
Lewis is in the chat. Hi, Lewis.
Hey, Lewis.
Ian in the shed. I'm attempting to make some space in the shed for more storage. I'm struggling.
Yep, always the way.
I should do a Scottish version of Mary Kendo and come round and do a whole thing about organising your workshop, an entire series kind of thing, complete with. If it doesn't bring you joy, chuck it to throw it.
You got two options, Ian. Go down, dig a basement, or go up and build an attic.
No, it's
Either
much
that
more
or
about
get another shed.
Buy a bigger shed.
2 sheds is always a good idea. Storage and production. But mostly I would recommend take a step back and think about how your storage works. Actually think about how your storage works. I know I continue to squeeze more and more stuff into this workshop by constantly re-engineering it.
Or do what JP did and take it all out of his workshop and put it in his house.
Ian in the shed's got it right. He wants a Colin Firth style bunker under the shed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
You need to dismantle your shed first.
I've got the workshop, and then we've got a 20-foot by 12-foot shed, which half of it Jane has for her garden and stuff, and half of it I have for wood storage.
See, I've got the blue shed next door, but that keeps getting nicked for stuff.
The blue shed, thunder! Woohoo!
Right, I gotta go, guys. So I'll see you
Okay,
all
mate.
later.
Right, Mark.
See you
Look
later.
out.
Carry on
yourself.
watching on your phone. Take care, everyone.
Remember, the stocking goes over your head, and you don't wear them.
Yeah.
Don't pull the trigger.
Right,
Did anyone see that Nick Zimet?
Go on.
Midnight Jokers put up. Did anyone see that Nick Zimetti is going to be on a TV series? I think he's been on one, hasn't he?
He's been on one.
Yeah.
If that's the one where he redid the old coin machine, it's already been done.
Unless they're making another series of that. Don't know.
Could be. Next, talented, driven man. We should expect great things.
Well, he is he is in media anyway, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. Well, communications.
All right, okay.
And he obviously does events now with makers. So he's in the right game. But he's a talented, driven individual. We should expect great things.
Right, what I've done there, I cleaned the top off with methylated spirits or denatured alcohol. I have put acrylic sand and sealer on there and just knocked that back a little bit with orange Scotch Brite pad, which is the equivalent grit of around about 1200. And I am now going to put some ebonizing lacquer on. In fact, I think I'll just get a new tin. It'll be a lot easier.
So apparently Nick is doing a full second series. That's quite cool.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm just going to cover this in black. Turn it around. Oh, I forgot to put my board up. I must always remember to do that. Turn it around and go along the grain as well. Make sure the grain gets filled in. Turn the speed right down. And we'll just give that a couple of minutes to dry off. Once it's dried off a wee bit, I'll take it off the chuck, put it onto, or I'll take the chuck off with the piece of wood on, put it onto my board here, do the overhead camera, and we will put some iridescent paints on there
So
and see what that looks like.
Dutch is asking why Mr. Zametti is never in any of these lives. Because we're not worth enough.
I don't know him that well.
Yep.
And considering it's during the day, these ones, he is probably working.
He's a busy bloke, I should imagine.
Ouch. So Dennis Beamish has gone, question, in Canada, I've just ordered 1 tub of Yorkshire grit and 1 tub of microfine. Taxes and delivery included, converted to British pounds, cost £51.70.
Right.
Does that compare to cost in the UK?
Can I ask you a question, Dennis? Where did you buy it from? Because there is a Canadian supplier,
Rob Sutherland.
Rob Summerlin from Woodsley
That's it.
Summercraft. He is the Canadian supplier for both Yorkshire grit and for Hampshire Sheen products.
Check out that man. Cheaps. By comparison.
Dutch saying that's cheaper than Holland.
Oh,
Right. In the UK, it usually costs, it's around about £10 a tub with around about £4 delivery charge. That's what most distributors tend to charge.
that's making too much noise.
The
Leave that
Dutch
one.
Turner, that's cheaper than Holland. I don't know if there's a Dutch distributor, but there's certainly a Belgian one. But I don't remember his name. If you go onto the Yorkshire Grit website, because there is a Yorkshire Grit website, Glyn has a list of distributors on there.
Ruben Woodcraft says, I had to leave to take a call. Back now. Hi, Ruben.
Right, whenever you're doing anything like this, obviously I'm going to be clearing out the middle of this to have a bowl part of it. So whenever you want to test to see if the paint is dry or wet, do it in the middle. It's still a bit tacky. A bit like me, really.
Bit tacky. Oh, hey.
A bit tacky.
You're lovely.
Yeah, I do that, Colin. JP has just put the link in for Yorkshire Grit. So if you follow that link, that'll take you to the website where you'll be able to find a list of distributors. Glyn actually exports to, I think it's about 16 countries now.
So Colin's got a chat. He's saying, how many of you good people in turning pick odd bits of wood to throw out and then put them back thinking it'll come in useful someday?
Yeah, I don't think
all the
that's
time.
unique to turners.
All the time. I never throw any wood away until it's like I won't get anything
Never
out of it.
chuck it. Never chuck it. That's the moral. If you might use it, keep it. I can see another shelf coming on.
It's like all my little offcuts of laser ply. I never throw them because I can use them for pyro or something.
I do. I throw them out all the time.
The missus nicked a load the other day to prop up a bookshelf.
Okay.
It was on the pisht. So it's now got
just a
some
question.
6 mil ply under it.
Would be the solution to fix the shelf?
I think it's the floor that's up.
Go on the floor.
Yeah,
I get those
it's
little
old house.
Right, I get those little wedges, little plastic wedges for that. It's not a problem in the new house, but it certainly was for all the ones we stayed in prior.
Chris Cox burns everything.
I reckon there's a bit of that with Wayne.
Yeah.
You should have seen him before we went live. I thought he was getting ready for stars in their eyes.
Yeah, bloody
Man.
Fire wasn't playing properly.
Tonight, Wayne Woodturner will be doing an impression of Stuart Farini. Tonight, on Tunnels in Their Eyes. Tunnels in Their Eyes.
I'll use various bits of this to do the different coloured paints. And I'll be using violet, green, and gold. The three usual colours that I tend to use.
So, in the chat is a link to Joe Sonia's UK shop. If you guys do order any, please don't forget to mention Wayne in the comments somewhere, just to let them know that you've seen Wayne use them. And
I don't think they've got a comment. I think you've got to do it in the contact.
Yeah.
That's the purple or the violet. Now I'll stick, and it doesn't matter if the colours mix when you're doing this. It just adds to the effect.
Mr. Senior's just joined. Good afternoon.
We've been talking about Yorkie Grit. You got to say it 3 times. Yorkie
I
Grit,
have
Yorkie
used
Grit,
Yorkie Grit. I am colouring up, but Yorkie Grit was used.
He's going because you're colouring. Right,
you were saying
Colin.
Wayne, you were saying?
What was I saying?
You were talking about Yorkshire Grit.
Yeah, I'm saying I have used Yorkshire Grit on this Glyn. Although I am colouring the top, I did use Yorkshire Grit on the bottom. And I've given an explanation to a couple of people who were asking about different aspects of it. So don't leave now.
Wizardry by Colin says, is the Eclipse SP3 dust mask any good? And can it be used with a bionic face shield and glasses? No, I haven't got a clue.
No idea.
Hubble, bubble, turn with trouble. Something Yorkshire Grit. Don't know. And Glenn will appear. Bit of work to be done there.
Oh, it's windy outside.
Was it the curry last night?
Yeah, I wish, mate. I had what did I have last night? Oh, I had some chicken and stuffing roll at about 1:30 this morning.
I'll correct it for tonight. Actually, don't correct it for tonight. I'm in a van with you for a while tomorrow.
Rex B, one more question on Yorkshire Grit.
Yeah.
There is an abrasive paste and a microfine paste. How much do you stand on each before adding each other? Do I need to order both?
With Yorkshire Grit, sand to 240. You only need the sand to 240. Then put some sand and sealer on. It doesn't matter what type of sand and sealer you use, whichever sand and sealer you use to, put some sand and sealer on, let that dry, and then apply your Yorkshire grit. There's no need to knock the sand and sealer back because Yorkshire grit is an abrasive paste and it will knock it back anyway. So, you apply the Yorkshire grit, you use the Yorkshire grit properly, starting off at a low speed, using the paper that you put it on with until it starts working. Then you can increase the speed. Do that for a couple of minutes on the original piece of paper. Increase the speed, get a clean piece of paper and carry on working it in. And you keep on working it in until the piece of paper comes away clean. Once the piece of paper comes away clean, that's the Yorkshire grit done. If you want to apply microfine after that, you don't have to do anything else to the piece of wood. You can apply the microfine over the top of the original Yorkshire grit. The original Yorkshire grit will take it up to the equivalent of around about 1,000 grit, and the microfine will take it to the equivalent of over 2,000 grit. So it's really ideal for using on resins. So you can use the original Yorkshire grit on resins, then use the microfine after the original, and that'll give you a really nice shine for any sort of finish that you're going to be using on resin. Does that answer your question?
Di's just joined. He says, sorry he's late. He's been processing beeswax.
Grand.
I love Dutch's one. From the bowels of grit-infested Yorkshire soil, he was summoned to cast judgment upon your piece. Beware, the god of grit has arrived.
Right, I'll just stick my hot air gun on this just to get it dried a little bit quicker.
Mike the Midnight Joker's asking, is Wayne after a pay rise?
Let's have a look. Yeah, that's about done now. I will quickly get the inside of this done now. I'm wondering whether to stick a couple of bits of decoration on this, just for something a wee bit different. And I think I might well do. Which one am I going to use? I'll use this one.
Dr. Bob says, new use for grit. He's had several Army reservists tell him they use grit on their boots and metals to inspect it.
All right. Put another one about there.
There's a comment saying it says Glyn, but I think Joe might be using Glyn's login. It says, you're not sacked, Wayne. This is Joe.
Just excuse me a minute. This bloody fire's acting up. It's spreading smoke all over the bloody workshop.
Tonight, and Turner's in their eyes. Scott, the blue light Turner, will be being Martin Smith.
Now, Martin's got more hair than I have.
Oh, you know, you do get dressed up for it, right?
Right. Do you think I should put a bit of colour in those two? Oh, I'm on the bloody wrong camera. Nobody told us. That's that one, like. No, I'll go back to that one. Right. Do you think I should put a bit of colour in these two marks I've just put in?
No.
No, leave it.
I think
Because
so.
I've got some new colours.
If you want to have a go, feel free. But I mean, it might be we're looking at it and thinking this is really nice, but you've
Right,
clearly got something beyond in your mind.
I'm just going to mark where I'm doing the bow.
Need repurposing as going hashtag sofa for Joe.
Oh, that reminds me. Bonjour, le Barry. Parlez-vous anglais?
Mike the Midnight Joker is going. I do the Yorkshire grit and put a shine on it. Do the Yorkshire grit and put a shine on it.
When young Jamie Page is backstage.
Oh, right.
How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Dale started talking about pay rises, so I thought I'd better get in here.
Are you our union rep then?
Yeah.
No, I'm leaving that union if he's the rep. Wendy from Two Push Craft is in.
Lewis is asking, Wayne, have you done a video on your camera setup?
Oh,
Wayne do a
Right.
video.
we can do a video. Hi, that'll be right.
Exactly the answer I give. I'm slightly more tactful, but I was sure, I'll do one. I might not be tomorrow.
Hello, everybody in the chat.
Hello, Jamie. Just up.
Has your parcel arrived yet, Jimmy?
Yes, mate. Yeah. Thanks for wrapping it like Fort Knox.
I taught him well.
Yeah, I learned that from Scott.
What made it even worse is I was on the phone trying to open it as well.
Ruben saying he votes that Dale does a video on the camera setup.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Ruben is saying that he votes you do a video on camera setup.
Oh man, it would be a nightmare. Means I have to use a proper camera and none of the fixed ones. Let me think about it, Ruben. Maybe for one of the lives. Oh, Wayne, can I mention Tuesday nights? I don't know, but
I take
Which
it
he
you can
finishes.
hear you.
yeah. Wayne, can I mention Tuesday nights?
Yep, of course you can.
So while good friend Richard, the Beard 16 Bennett's taking a break for a few weeks, so I'll be covering his Tuesday evening slot. Be doing some making, some scrolling, all that sort of stuff, just while he's taking a break. So it's probably only a few weeks, but we'll be live at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Maybe I'll do one of the camera walk rounds on that one, Ruben. I moved beyond the GoPros quite a while ago. I need to think about how to show the camera. Right? I'm going to tidy up the study. Yeah.
I can show you a quick setup of what cameras I've got
Oh.
when I finish this.
Ah.
It's not really very impressive.
That's all right. Oh, I'm not sure well placed to answer that. I would recommend my experience as as buy a 1080p webcam. Don't spend a lot of money on it.
Right.
Don't spend a lot of money on it. Yep.
Right. This camera the main camera where you usually see my ugly mug. Wait, I go into my ugly mug. Right, this main camera I just got the other day. It got delivered the other day. That cost me £14. I think it was £17 in total with the postage. And that's just a very small webcam that I've got for the main one. and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other webcams. Some of them are 1080, some of them are 720.
The rig in question. So Wayne's echoing my words, which would be buy a 1080p cheap webcam and have a play. And then move on to higher quality cameras as you find the need. Because one of the big challenges with people doing lives is that they kind of spend a bit of money getting going, and then they don't bother. So you can get going with StreamYard, a couple of cheap web cameras, some decent lighting, and I would love to stress that. Make sure the room's well lit. That way the CCDs and the cameras don't have to do that much money. Yeah, they don't have to do that much working.
I mean, lighting wise, where I've got at the moment, up. Can't see. Just behind me, I have got one ordinary strip light, and I've got a 2-tube LED strip light. When I'm working by myself, I usually have some spotlights on, but when I have them on when I'm doing lives, it does tend to bleach out everything. And the ordinary lights that I've got produce enough light for me to work by when I'm doing lives, even at night time.
It's really important. Lighting is everything. So I tend to recommend to everyone paint the walls white, not because I'm a bit anally retentive, but the story is it reflects as much light as it can. If you've got bright lights, you don't need that. But if you're in a workshop, and you don't have space, particularly against the wall, you either have very bright ceiling lights, or you want to get maximum reflection from paint the walls white. If you ever watched a movie crew, you'll see them holding up big white sheets and things to make sure they reflect light onto the actors and interest when they're making a movie. For the same reason, give it some thought.
Right, I've got this spinning around about 150 at the moment. The lowest speed it'll go on these pulleys. I've just put one layer of or one coat of chestnut acrylic gloss lacquer on, and that's all I'll do for the moment, just so I can show you the finished piece.
So Benjamin's asking, is the spray sealer similar to the 50-50 fin sealer?
Yeah, I suppose it is, except obviously it's in an aerosol. Right, I'll bring me stool back.
Oh, hello, Jamie. What have you been doing?
Hello.
Very quiet.
I'm probably just gonna mess up my dad's computer. That's all.
All right, that sounds.
You know anyone can help.
I'm trying to be Dale.
Not got the accent for it.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Do I sound
I don't know
like
what that was. I do
that.
not know what that was.
Right,
I
guys.
apologise immensely for that.
There it is.
Very nice.
Lovely.
Trying to get that without any glare, but it's a bit difficult. You'll be able to see it better when I take photographs this afternoon and stick them up. So it's around about, I think it's only about 9-10 inches in diameter. Yeah, 9.5 by just under 2 inches deep. So that's using chestnuts, ebonizing lacquer, and Joe Sonia's iridescent paints. If you are going to use iridescent paints, you are always as well putting them onto a dark background, because that actually makes them stand out a hell of a lot more. Right, I'll just bring the guys back in.
I'll stand up then.
I'm still sitting down.
I'm gonna stay here.
You got 12 seconds.
Hello.
So, what was that?
How you
15 minutes?
doing?
Fairly short one compared to the evening. Get the shavings out my beard. So, one final look.
Mate.
I wonder if that'll look better on
Oh.
one of the other.
It's always great to see one of your finished pieces. It really is. Look at that.
Very nice, mate.
Beautiful.
Very, very nice.
Very nice.
And that was using a wrong camera. One of these shower scrub things.
You have to wash that so you can use it in the shower outside.
Yeah,
It's a loofah, isn't it?
no, it's not a loofah. No,
No, it's a Vandross.
It's a body wiper.
it's a simple cheap shower scrub thing that'll go into the washing machine to get washed. Seeing as how it's just water acrylic paint that's on there. So that's us, guys. I'll come back to the main camera again. Who's left on today? Ruben will probably have a premiere tonight. He usually does on a Friday. I think Nick will have a premiere. That'll be at 7 for Ruben. 7:30 for Nick having a premiere. Stace will be on at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow, Ed Oliver is usually on at 10 in the morning. I don't know who else is on tomorrow. Nick will be on at 8 o'clock. As to who else is on, I've got no idea. Things have fallen by the wayside with people getting back to work and everything. So, Sunday, again, no idea up until Makers International podcast at 9:30.
You'll have
Tomorrow,
Steve at lunchtime, won't you?
Steve will be on at lunchtime on Sunday. SK Crafts. Jamie will be having a premiere at about 11 o'clock on Sunday night. Caitlin the Cat around about 11:15. And then it'll be back to me Monday lunchtime. Next Wednesday, I'm doing a bit of a special next Wednesday. Last Sunday night, it was last Sunday night, wasn't it? Chris and Emma Murray were on Makers International podcast. And Chris was enjoying a glass of gin and tonic during the podcast. So I got in touch and I'm going to make him a gin glass. So next Wednesday night, I will be doing a gin glass. It will be getting coloured with I'll be turning the stem out of wood. It'll be getting coloured with the Joe Sonia iridescent paints. I think it's either going to be turquoise or green. He did ask for jade green, but I've got either turquoise or I've got green, which I'm going to be doing the stem in. So if you're interested in finding out how to do a gin glass, join me next Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and I'll show you how to do it. So that's it for now, guys. I'm going to press the bloody button. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. Any idea how many we had in, guys, at any one time?
I didn't look.
I must confess, I never saw it.
Grand. Okay.
The one time I did look, you had 59.
Oh, grand. Good. Right. I'll love you and leave you. See you on Monday. Take care of yourselves over the weekend, guys. Bye for now.
Bye.